Fans of My 600-Pound Life have seen firsthand how difficult it is for many of the contestants to maintain the results they attain. In fact, the majority of the people on the show revert to their past harmful behaviors even under the strict surveillance of Dr. Now, which could lead to some unpleasant moments that make viewers at home grimace in their seats. So in today's video, we'll take a look at some of the most irrationally awful moments we've seen so far. Let's roll! Tanisha Cleveland.
My body's taken over me, it's destroyed my life, and this is pure hell, it really is.
Tanisha came on the show when she was 32 years old. The mother of two told a heartbreaking story to the audience. The Texas-based participant gained 100 pounds after her mother died, but that was not just it, as she had eating issues since she was a child. Tanisha's mother struggled with drug and alcohol addiction, but what made things utterly miserable was that even her boyfriend was a violent addict who frequently took his rage out on a young Tanisha. To escape it all, she moved in with her grandparents, but she was only content for a short time until her grandfather assaulted her. Tanisha found solace in food because she believed no one could harm her as long as she was big. Tanisha weighed 483 pounds when she first appeared on the show. Before beginning her journey with Dr. Now, she relied on her daughters, but was visibly scared after her mother's death due to obesity. Not wanting to meet the same end, Tanisha tried to make changes. But the worst part was watching her wreck her diet in order to get over her relationship problems while under Dr. Now's supervision. She lost 11 pounds, but quit the program after her husband Troy divorced her. But it wasn't until she'd gained 10 pounds that she realized she'd made a mistake. And when a producer showed up on her doorstep, she was encouraged to seek Dr. Now's help. Tanisha was granted surgery after adhering to his diet and exercising regularly.
I think you're ready for a gastrectomy to continue your weight loss journey.
In the process, she shed 119 pounds.
Not wanting to go back to being dependent on others, being restricted from enjoying life.
Mike McGinnis.
When I came back home after my injuries, I had no direction when life was nothing but football.
Viewers saw Mike McGinnis' weight loss journey play out in season 10. Mike lost his sense of purpose after repeated concussions, especially when he terminated his college football career early and gained hundreds of pounds. Mike's problems lost him both his wife and his job. The 37-year-old was living with his parents and weighing over 700 pounds when the cameras started rolling. Dr. Now was hoping to assist the divorced father of four to find a fresh lease on life so that he could be present for his children and move on from his parents' basement. Though Mike got married shortly after his rejection from the football team and he welcomed 4 children with his wife, he continued to put on weight. His wife told him that he needed to lose weight or she would ask for a divorce. He spent time in an in-treatment facility where he was diagnosed with depression and with binge eating disorder. Mike weighed 745 pounds at his initial appointment with Dr. Now. It clearly seemed like he needed to get serious and move down to Houston because he had around 500 pounds of additional weight on his body. He did lose weight while in treatment, but it was quickly regained after he was released, and it appeared that none of the reasons that brought him to the doctor were powerful enough to keep him motivated. It took some time, but he ultimately realized that he ought to change his attitude, and he ended up losing 745 pounds.
I'm just shy of the goal, but I'm almost in the 400s, so I think all around that's good.
LaShonta White.
I could be upset and I eat my food and it'll soothe my pain.
LaShonta White was first introduced to the viewers in season 7. LaShonta weighed 662 pounds at the time of airing. She planned to shed enough weight to improve her health before she turned 40, standing at 5'2". She had been bedridden for 2 years and was struggling to care for her 4 children when her trip began. She traveled to Houston to pursue her weight loss goal, but the saddest part was watching her lover Jeremy leave her, since he was only drawn to bigger women and was facing losing his feeding role. Despite her dissatisfaction with Jeremy's abandonment, she chose to go ahead with the move with the support of her sons. LaShonta had only lost 113 pounds 9 months after her original consultation with weight loss specialist Dr. Now, and Dr. Now was unwilling to authorize her for weight loss surgery. LaShanta, like many of the other people who have been on the show, was adamant about getting gastric bypass surgery. LaShanta lost an additional 47 pounds after a year, allowing Dr. Now to schedule her for gastric bypass surgery. She's virtually unrecognizable nowadays.
No. I don't believe a word you say because you keep lying and keep lying to yourself.
Mercedes Cephas.
This point, I'm killing myself if I don't get this weight off.
Mercedes Cephas, like many others, was traumatized by an assault she received at the hands of her father.
My dad let me down. All of it down.
Who had also tortured her siblings. When Mercedes appeared on the 7th season of the show, she made it apparent at the start of the episode that she knew that losing weight was a life or death scenario for her. She weighed about 775 pounds and had almost lost all of her ability to accomplish anything around the house. Mercedes' life had deteriorated to the point where she needed to rely on her children for support. Mercedes made the decision to seek the advice of a doctor right away. But what was most painful to witness was how, despite saying she wanted to alter things, she struggled to keep her word, as her food addiction was more important to her than her children's future. Mercedes struggled to stick to Dr. Now's meal plan from the start. She didn't get approved for weight loss surgery after losing 81 pounds by the end of the episode.
I love you too.
Chad Dean.
Food is definitely killing me. I have to do something about this, or else I'm gonna die.
We first saw Chad on his couch in Maryland when he originally joined the show. The participant admitted to being overweight his entire life. His grandma had to sew 2 outfits for him when he played football in high school. Chad Dean, like his father and brother, became a chef after graduating from high school. However, his back troubles became too much for him in his early 30s, and he chose to convert to truck driving. He sat behind the wheel for long periods of time, not moving much and eating a lot. As a result, he gained a significant amount of weight, which became apparent when he tumbled off his truck's sidestep. His position appeared dismal because he couldn't even move without assistance. His wife, Aisha, was concerned that his life was in jeopardy. As a last resort, Aisha decided to record a video of her husband and submit an application for him to be on the show to help him lose weight. He was accepted. Chad's family relocated to Fort Worth, Texas, in order for him to receive the assistance he needed. Dean was cast as a character in the show. As he visited Dr. Now, he was introduced to the audience. Chad continued to lose weight following his operation and had shed enough pounds. He's also had skin removal surgery, which has helped him reduce even more weight. Chad has discovered new activities, such as riding motorcycles, thanks to his sudden weight decrease.
I'm really scared right now.
I need to fix this immediately. And this created a very dangerous situation.
Before we go on to the last contestants on our list, we'd love to hear your thoughts on today's video, as well as if you have any favorite shows that you'd also like to see on our channel. Julius J.T. Clark.
All I'm afraid of because of how big I'm getting. I still can't stop doing what's causing it.
With a starting weight of 892 pounds, he was one of the biggest people to ever appear on the show. In addition to the numerous health issues that come with being that big, Clark had to deal with a 100-pound lymphedema mass on his leg, which is a blockage of lymph fluids that can cause severe swelling. Clark grew up with 2 sisters and a brother, who he described as, quote, very close-knit, because he was the oldest. His family didn't have much money when he was growing up, but his father worked at a hot dog stand and fed his family for free. JT claimed that as he grew older, his parents began to spend their money on drugs, causing them to struggle financially. He and his siblings were left to care for themselves, and over the next 3 years, his weight tripled, reaching 300 pounds at the age of 13. JT couldn't fit in the same desks as the other pupils at the school, but he was able to get work at a fast food restaurant. He flew to Houston with his fiancée to see Dr. Now in an attempt to change his life and lose weight, but his actions drove her away. And even for Dr. Now, he was not ready to put up with his nonsense and threatened to pull him off the program, which forced him to clean up his act, and he ended up shedding 400 pounds by following the doctor's exercise and diet program after he was cleared for gastric sleeve surgery.
That's just according to you.
What do you mean? What are you trying to tell me?
My mental state, me not being in a mental state.
Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.